He's dying. He's dying. Help me. Please, somebody help me. The words tore from my throat as I fought against the current, my hands trembling as they gripped the limp, waterlogged body of a man who had no pulse, or so I thought. His face was pale as moonlight, lips blue, eyes closed like he'd already made peace with whatever waited beyond. The Ogun River stretched around us, indifferent and eternal, as my canoe rocked violently beneath the weight of death itself. But before I tell you how a nobody like me ended up holding a somebody in her arms that day, before I explain why the police would later drag me from my one-room apartment in handcuffs, before you understand why this man's face would haunt my dreams and reshape my destiny, I need you to do something for me. Subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs to believe in miracles again. Comment where you're watching from. Lagos, Abuja, London, New York. I'll be there in the comments, reading every single word, because your story matters to me just as much as mine should matter to you. Now let me take you back. Back to when I was just Ngozi. Back to when I thought I understood what my life would be. The city of Ikeja sprawls like an ambitious dream that forgot to wake up. Somewhere between the organized chaos of Computer Village and the stubborn elegance of old colonial buildings, there exists a waterside community where the modern world meets ancient rhythms. That's where I lived. That's where my story begins. My name is Ngozi Okafor, and for 7 years, I had been the river's daughter, a trader who moved goods across the waterways connecting Lagos's hidden tributaries. Not the glamorous Lagos of Banana Island and Lekki penthouses. The other Lagos. The one that smells like determination mixed with yesterday's rain, where dreams are currency and reputation is wealth. People knew me. The market women at Oak Aaron would wave when my canoe passed. The fishermen would call out, "Eneni, business day move?" And I would smile because, yes, business was moving. Slowly, but it was moving. I sold provisions, rice, groundnut oil, canned tomatoes, dried fish, to small retailers across the riverine communities. My profit margins were thin, my back was strong, and my resolve was iron. But what nobody understood, what they whispered about behind cupped hands and curious eyes, was why I remained unmarried at 28. That girl 2-day form, they'd say. Chikwudi wanted to marry her. The man owns 3 buses. But she said no. Even Emeka the engineer tried. She rejected him too. They thought I was foolish. They thought poverty had made me proud. But they didn't understand the truth that lived inside me, like a prayer carved from lightning. I knew my worth before the world knew my name. Every night, kneeling on the thin foam mattress in my wooden apartment that swayed when heavy trucks passed, I would pray. Not for riches, not for escape, but for something more dangerous, more impossible, a man of substance, character, and faith. Someone who would see me not as a poor trader to rescue, but as an equal to cherish. My mother, God rest her soul, used to tell me, "Ngozi, a woman who knows her value will never sell herself at discount." Those words became my religion. But the universe has a peculiar sense of humor. Because the day my prayer would be answered began like any other, until it didn't. October 17th. The day the river gave me everything. The morning air tasted like diesel and possibility as I loaded my canoe with 20 bags of rice, 15 cartons of canned milk, and assorted provisions destined for retailers in Ajigunle. My boatman, Old Tund, a wiry man whose face looked like geography lessons in survival, helped me arrange the cargo. "Ngozi, you sure say this boat fit carry all this load?" he asked, squinting at the pile. I laughed. "Tund, we've carried more. Stop behaving like woman." We set off at 6:47 a.m. I remember the exact time because I checked my phone, a stubborn Nokia that refused to die, to calculate our arrival. The water was unusually calm, reflecting the gray-gold sky like a massive, breathing mirror. The bridge loomed ahead, a concrete giant stretching across the water, carrying the weight of 1,000 journeys. We'd passed under it 1,000,000 times before. But this time, the universe was paying attention. Crash! The sound ripped through the morning peace like the world was ending. Metal screaming, glass shattering, the physics of violence rendering steel and flesh irrelevant. From beneath the bridge, I watched a black Mercedes SUV tumble through the air in horrifying slow motion, colliding with a trailer, spinning twice, 3 times, before gravity claimed its prize and sent it plunging into the river. The water exploded upward, swallowed the vehicle, went silent. Jesus! Ton screamed, nearly capsizing our canoe. Time fractured. My heart became a war drum. And then I saw him. A body, floating face down, arms spread like a dark angel cast from heaven, drifting toward the deeper channels where the current would claim him forever. Everything my mother taught me, everything the river had taught me, everything that lived inside my chest that was more stubborn than fear, it all erupted at once. He's dying. He's dying. Help me. Somebody help me. I didn't think. Thinking is for people who have time. I dove. The water was colder than I expected, darker, angrier. My wrapper clung to my legs like hands trying to pull me down. But I swam. God, how I swam. Toward that floating body, toward that stranger whose name I didn't know, whose face I couldn't see, whose life had become my responsibility in the space of a heartbeat. My fingers found fabric, an expensive suit, waterlogged and heavy. I turned him over. His face was beautiful and terrible, a young man, maybe 32 or 33, with features that spoke of privilege and power even in unconsciousness. No breath, no movement, the color of death settling into his skin. Tund, help me get him in the boat. Together, we dragged him into the canoe, my rice bags shifting, provisions tumbling into the water, but I didn't care. None of it mattered. Only this, a human being was dying in my hands, and I refused to let death win. We raced back to my apartment, a weathered structure on stilts above the water, paint peeling, roof rusted, but mine. My sanctuary. I cleared my sleeping mat, laid him flat, and began. CPR. Mouth to mouth. Chest compressions, so hard I thought I might break his ribs. His lips were ice. His chest refused to rise. Come on, I whispered, then shouted, then sobbed. Come on, you're not leaving. Not today. Not on my watch. 10 minutes. 20. 30. My arms screamed. My lungs burned. Tun stood in the doorway, shaking his head, already mourning. And then he coughed. Water erupted from his mouth. His body convulsed. His eyes flew open, confused, terrified, alive. I collapsed backward, gasping, laughing, crying, shaking so hard I thought I might shatter. He was breathing. Rough, painful breaths, but breathing. Who are you? He managed, voice like gravel. Someone who doesn't let people drown, I said, and then the exhaustion claimed me, and the world went soft. He stayed for 3 days. Not because he wanted to, because he couldn't. The accident had left him with a concussion, bruised ribs, and a gash across his forehead that I cleaned and bandaged with supplies from the local chemist. His phone was destroyed. His wallet was gone. He had no way to contact anyone. And in those 3 days, sitting in my tiny room that smelled like river water and kerosene stove cooking, something impossible happened. We talked. His name was Luke Adeyemi. He told me he was in business. He didn't specify what kind, and I didn't press. He asked about my life, my work, my dreams, and he listened with an intensity that made me feel seen in ways I'd never experienced. I learned he loved old Nollywood movies, that he'd lost his mother young, that he believed kindness was the only currency that mattered in the end. He learned I'd dropped out of university when my father died, that I'd built my trading business from nothing, that I dreamed of owning a proper store someday, with shelves and a cash register and customers who came because they trusted me. On the third morning, I woke to find him gone. No note, no goodbye, just the faint impression of his body on my mat and the echo of conversations that had felt like promises. 1 year, 3 months, 14 days. That's how long I waited, though I pretended I wasn't waiting. Life continued, deliveries, sales, lonely nights counting money that never seemed to grow fast enough. But part of me remained frozen at that moment when Luke's eyes first opened, when he looked at me like I was a miracle instead of just a poor trader who happened to be in the right place. The market women asked questions. That man way you save, he never come back? I would shrug. Why would he? But at night, I prayed differently. Not for a man of substance anymore. For him. For Luke. For the impossible. And then, on a humid Tuesday afternoon, they came for me. 2 policemen in crisp uniforms, standing at my door with expressions that offered no answers. Ngozi Okafor? My heart stopped. Yes! You're needed. Come with us. They wouldn't explain. Wouldn't answer questions. Just guided me into a gleaming black SUV that smelled like money and leather. So different from my world it felt like a kidnapping into someone else's reality. We drove. Out of my neighborhood, past the markets, into a Koi where houses look like palaces and gates look like declarations of war against poverty. We stopped at a mansion. I was shaking when they led me inside, through marble halls and beneath chandeliers that cost more than I'd earn in a lifetime. My wrapper was faded. My slippers were worn. I didn't belong here. And then I saw him, Luke, standing in a living room the size of my entire neighborhood, wearing a tailored suit, looking like everything I'd imagined and nothing like the broken man I'd pulled from the river. Our eyes met. I couldn't breathe. He walked toward me, and I saw it then. The tears streaming down his face, the trembling in his hands, the way he looked at me like I was both question and answer. I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry. For what? I managed. For leaving. For not coming back sooner. For making you think. His voice broke. I spent a year searching for you, Ngozi. A year. You saved my life. And I didn't even know your full name, where exactly you lived, how to find you. I had investigators comb every waterside community from here to Betagri. And when I finally found you, he dropped to one knee. The room spun. I knew I couldn't waste another second. Ngozi Okafor, you're the most extraordinary person I've ever met. Not because you saved my life, but because of who you are. Your strength, your dignity, your heart. I've built companies, made millions, met thousands of people, but none of them are you. He pulled out a ring that caught the light and shattered it into 1,000 promises. Will you marry me? The tears came fast and hard, years of loneliness and doubt and wondering if I'd been foolish to wait for something real, all of it pouring out at once. Yes, I whispered. Yes, yes, yes. He stood, slipped the ring on my finger, and pulled me into his arms. And in that moment, I understood something profound. The river hadn't given me Luke. It had given me back to myself. Because I'd saved him not expecting reward, not hoping for recognition, but because it was right. And that version of me, the woman who dove into dark water for a stranger, who gave her last resources to keep someone alive, who refused to let death have the final word, she was the woman Luke saw. The woman he loved. The woman I'd always been, even when the world couldn't see it. We married 3 months later. The ceremony was small, my choice. I didn't want spectacle. I wanted truth. My market friends came. His business associates came. Two worlds colliding, and somehow, beautifully, finding harmony. Luke told me everything that night after the wedding. He was CEO of Adeyemi Technologies, a software company worth hundreds of millions. The accident had been caused by a driver falling asleep at the wheel. His driver died instantly. Luke should have died too, but I wouldn't let him. "You gave me more than life," he said, holding my hand as we watched the city lights from our bedroom window, our home now together. "You gave me a reason to deserve it." I built my dream store 6 months later. Not because Luke's money made it possible, but because he believed in me enough to let me do it my way. Ngozi's Provisions sits in Surulere now. 3 employees, shelf stocked with everything I used to sell from my canoe. Customers who come because they trust me. Luke still runs his company. I still run my store. We meet in the middle, 2 people who found each other in the space between drowning and salvation. People ask me now, what's the lesson? And I tell them, know your worth before the world knows your name. Be the kind of person who dives into dark water for strangers. Choose integrity over convenience. Wait for substance over sparkle. Because that day in the river, I didn't save a billionaire. I didn't save a CEO. I didn't save someone who could change my life. I saved a human being. And in doing so, I saved myself. The river gave me everything the day. It gave me nothing to lose. And that's the truth about miracles. They don't look like miracles when they're happening. They look like choices. Hard choices. Brave choices. Right choices. Luke and I are still here. Still building. Still learning what it means to love someone who sees you, really sees you, past the poverty or wealth, the titles or lack thereof, straight to the soul. And every night, I thank God, not for the mansion or the ring or the life I never imagined, but for the courage to dive, to try, to refuse to let death have the final word. Because in the end, we don't get the lives we want. We get the lives we're brave enough to create. Now tell me, what did this story teach you? Where are you watching from? What's your river? The impossible situation you're facing, the dark water you need to dive into. Comment below. I'll be there, reading, responding, because your story matters. Subscribe if you believe in second chances. Like if you believe in miracles. Share if you know someone who needs to hear this today. The river is still flowing. The question is, are you brave enough to dive?